Hello and happy Tree Fort Thursday, everybody, and welcome to another Chamber Check-In episode from Idaho's only five-star regional chamber. Today we have CEO and president of Peppershock Media. Peppershock Media is your full-service marketing partner, and we have president and CEO with us today, Rhea Allen. I'm going to bring her on the stage. Hi, Rhea.
Hi, Paul. Apologize for my voice. It's the season. The allergy season is among us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Rhea, hey, thanks again for carving out some of your time and pushing through, right? You mentioned the show must go on, right?
That's right. The show must go on.
I've been with the chamber for 11 years, and Rhea, you've been an advocate for the chamber. You've been a steward of this community. You've done some really great things for some amazing companies. So I'm just so glad to help share your story and a little bit about your programs and services that Peppershock offers, and its expert people. You have a really great group of experts on your team, so we'll share that a little bit too. But first, let's talk a little bit about the background, your background, Rhea. What got you started in becoming an entrepreneur, especially in an agency?
Well, how much time do we have again, Paul?
Right.
So I actually met Drew working at Fox 12 News at 9. It's about time. Yeah, I've actually been in television since I was like 15 years old. I interned at Channel 6 and then went to Channel 12 and then met him there. And I was directing news, and then he was the technical director there. And kind of fast forward, we both moved to Seattle. Got a whole bunch of big city experience, and then boomeranged it back to Boise, started the business. I should say got married, started the business within the same year. So 2003, we got everything in a line, and we both took day jobs and kind of did it on the side until it just became where we were, working on Peppershock till 2:00 in the morning, and then just decided, it was time. We had a few, things that kind of helped put it in place, and began in the bonus room of our house, and then just kind of grew and added graphic design and web and copywriting and just all the things that we've been doing over the last almost 22 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I had looked up how long you've been a member, and it's September of 2004 is what we have on record here. So that's a milestone achievement. You're a cornerstone member of the chamber, Rhea.
Well, yeah, no, and it's been a great partnership. I mean, I remember being pregnant, and now, of course, I have a almost 20-year-old and a 17-year-old, two boys, and we started the Boise Young Professionals with 16 of us together, and so yeah, I mean, BYP has been around for, I can't remember which kid I was pregnant with because it all kind of blends together, but yeah, so been a part of the chamber, and done a lot of different things with the chamber over the years, and produced videos and all kinds of fun things. So it's been a great relationship for sure.
Well, your brand is recognized. It's credible. You've been doing some great things. So let's talk a little bit about that. The creation of Peppershock, you mentioned, was an organic side gig, right? And you're staying up till 2:00 in the morning, and it turned into what it is now. And you kind of talked about why, or maybe dive into why. Why was you started in television, so you're already in video, right? But when did you see the correlation of helping other businesses with their media and marketing?
So I knew at an early age that I wanted to have our own business. I wanted to be our own boss, right? And I think that my undergrad from Boise State helped sort of begin that journey in and working at the TV station at the same time. But I did entrepreneurship and mass communication, business management, marketing classes. And then, fast forward, we moved to Seattle. I worked at Northwest Cable News and then Q13 there. And in the afternoons, I did a lot of promotions. So I got to work with all the sports, the Sonics at the time, and the Seahawks and the Mariners and the Sounders even had just begun. And then at night, I would direct news or be the technical director. And so I think working in news gave me an appreciation for what it would be like to be my own boss. Because when you work news, the show must go on, as we said, and you work, Christmas and New Year's and all the things. So when we decided to boomerang back to Boise, thinking that we would be not just a tiny tadpole in a big sea of competition. When we came back, we were, one of a few, and we kind of created this hybrid agency where we did video production, but also, the marketing, the planning, and the buying, and the strategy behind the things. And that was kind of my area. And I got my master's degree in entrepreneurship and marketing. So, and then Drew, he also had his degree from the Art Institute of Seattle in video production and design, and then got his undergrad and then master's degree in business as well. So we kind of literally married the two concepts together of the strategy, the planning, and like laying the foundation, and then execution. And then of course, video, and we've added, Brian does our video. He's our video production manager, and Christy does our design work. And then we've got copywriters and project managers, and just kind of expanded it. And we have a plethora of contractors that we work with and have worked with over the years. And I think the real reason why I love what we do so much is I love connecting, making connections. I love to be a connector. I love to see the connections happen, whether it's in person or visually, or where we can, do things to help inspire people to do the things that we want them to do. If it's call to action, if it's building awareness, if it's doing those things. And storytelling is such a pivotal part of what we all need to do in business. And so helping people tell their story, their brand story, or if it's a documentary or any of those types of things that we can help tell stories, whether it's, audible, if people can click, hear, or see it, that's where we really highlight and feature what we can do for our clients and our community and all of the nonprofits we do to support as much as we can. And it makes me happy when people make those connections. In fact, our mantra is to disrupt, connect, and inspire. We're disrupting everyday patterns. We're disrupting, something that people maybe not otherwise would think of, or, we disrupt email inboxes if we need to, right? So disrupt and then connect, right? Making those connections in storytelling, and making brand connections, making connections if it's a call to action to buy something, do something, build something, educate somebody. Those are all the things that we want to inspire people to do. And that's why I believe I'm here to make connections for those who allow me to do that for them.
Well, you don't lack any passion, Ray.
Thank you.
I'm always inspired by your energy, your tenacity, and the way you connect with people. It's always cool, calm, and undeniably composed, Ray. I always see that every single time. Let me ask you this. Industry sectors. Is there a certain one that you want to work with, that you work with? And then size of businesses. What's the secret sauce there for Peppershock?
I believe that we have something for the DIYers, the do-it-yourselfers. Yeah. We've built a community where people can educate themselves based on all the trainings. And I mean, I speak internationally all over, and people ask me to come and speak for them. So we record them. And then the articles and blog posts and the master plan class that we've created, so people can do that through the marketing expedition if they're a DIYer, and then they're done with you and then done for you model. So we can help augment a marketing team. Sometimes there's a team of one that we need to help and support, and now suddenly you've got a team of 10 people to kind of wrap our arms around you and support you. And then the done for you is like everything that we can do as a complete marketing department for some that don't have one, or maybe they do and they just don't have the time or the talent, because there's certain specialties that my people know how to do, that our people know how to do, that we work with on the team. Whether that's motion graphics, or we have 2 certified drone pilots, licensed and insured drone pilots. Drew and Brian are both, and they keep up every day, updated every year, and so we can fly drones. And so there might be some time or talent issues that companies need us for, either on a per project basis or on an ongoing basis. The industries that we work with, after doing this for 22 years, I feel like there's probably not some industry that we've touched in some way, but I think we excel pretty well in senior citizen marketing or mature audience marketing. So the boomers and then their adult children. We've done a number of, projects and clients over the years with senior health insurance benefits advisors through the Department of Insurance and Central District Health and Idaho Commission on Aging. So a lot of that industry, and that also includes professional services and home services for those that need them. So we can pretty much do anything from, insurance to education. We've worked with the Department of Education, and of course, educating is I also, making connections for my students. I'm an adjunct marketing professor at Boise State, teaching agency operations and marketing, of course. And my students are just now getting ready to compete at the National Student Advertising Competition. So district competition is going to be next weekend. I'm taking them to Bend, Oregon, and they're going to compete against, I think there's going to be 8 or 9 universities that will show up and will compete again. And our client this year is AT&T. So that's common knowledge. So my students get to work with AT&T right now. And then my other class, my agency operations class, their client, I always give them a real live client. They're working with Jason Crawforth in his company called Swear. So swear.com, go check that out. My students get to compete and pitch, and Jason's going to be one of the judges on the panel and decide whether or not they would be the agency of record if it wasn't a mock situation. So I try to make as real life situations as possible for them. So education is another industry that we're heavily involved with. Lots of school districts, lots of, Department of Education, Idaho Department of Education things. We're working with West Ada right now. We've worked with Nampa School District. We've worked with, we're working with Lee Pesky Learning Center right now and doing a complete website overhaul for them, which is exciting. So yeah, education, insurance, technology, just a variety of things. But our sweet spot really, I think that where we really shine is companies that know that they need to grow and scale and know that they need a team of people to do it and want to afford the budget to make sure it happens, right? I always say get comfortable with the uncomfortable, stretch your budget a little bit because it takes money to make more. And so how can we help those brands, continue to build their brand and their bottom line ultimately?
Wow. Okay. I just learned a ton today. Right? I had no idea that you did actually focus. Usually when I ask people what their industries are, they say, oh, everybody, right? But no, I really appreciate that. Now I'll know how to better refer business to you as well.
Yeah.
One thing that's amazing to me in your world, in your industry as a marketing agency, a full service agency, how do you keep up with the technology, the trends, the functionality of said things? Tell me a little bit about that.
So I think that the best way for us to keep up with all of the trends and technology is because I get paid to go speak about those things. So I have to learn about it in order to educate others. And we've always been on the bleeding edge of what's new and next. I mean, I think back in the day, we were the first in the Valley to have an HD camera, right? I mean, now it's common knowledge, right? Everyone now we have almost a 5K camera and, we keep up the gear and we've got a new production truck. And, we are always on the cusp of learning what's next. And I'm next, after my students are competing, I'm actually flying directly to Vegas to go. I have 9 speaking gigs to go talk about the latest and greatest in marketing trends and technology and creative, aspects and being able to create with confidence and utilizing AI and not, and embracing it as something that's going to be a good tool for our creatives to use, right? So that is how we have always been able to stay on top of what's next, is because I teach others about it. And if I'm going to teach others, I need to be educated as well. So I'm always following, some of the industry leaders. I interview them on my podcast, on the Marketing Expedition podcast. And that's definitely helped. I mean, it's a top 5% most popular podcast now. And I get to interview some really amazing top producers, top industry leaders in a variety of different, aspects of our industry, and whether that's, advertising or the tools that we use or the methodology of how we get messages out to people now, because we're all so inundated with so many things now. So what is working, what is not, and continuously evolving what works and what doesn't on a regular, ongoing basis. I think that if anybody ever wants to stay on top of something, teach it, because you got to learn it in order to know the answers that people are wanting, that are going to question you. And if I don't know an answer to something, you better believe I'm going to start researching and finding it, because if they have a question, so do I. Like, now I'm curious, right? And to always stay curious. And one of our core values at Peppershock is to be a lifelong learner. And every month we have celebrations and appreciations, and we go through celebrations, appreciations, successes, frustrations, new technologies, blog and book reports, and people share their knowledge with the team and anybody that's with us on our monthly lunch gatherings that we do on a regular basis. So we actually call them Munch. It started off as Friday Fun Lunch, but then, Fridays, people take Fridays off sometimes, and we started taking, summer Fridays off. So then we moved it to Wednesdays. So then it was lunch, but now we do it on Mondays, the last Monday of every month. And now we call it Munch, right? I mean, it just kind of evolved from that. But our Munch time together is to celebrate, birthdays and workversaries, we call them, work anniversaries, but workversaries, and whoever's month it is that month. Like, I just had my birthday, so I got to choose where we went for my birthday lunch, and whoever we're celebrating gets to choose where we go. And that's my gift to them, to say thank you for being a loyal employee for us for a really long time, and a happy birthday, or vice versa, based on whatever it is we're celebrating.
So we've got some great culture here with Peppershock internally as well. Okay. Community involvement. Let's talk for a couple minutes about that, because I mentioned that at the beginning. Rhea, you've been a steward of the chamber. You've been a steward of the community. Help me share some of the things that you guys love to be involved with as far as overall community involvement.
Well, where do I begin? I mean,
Right.
I'm always on some sort of board or committee, or at some point, I do try to say no. But let's see. I've been on the Shakespeare Festival board. I'm on the Gala committee now. We just selected our theme for this year. So, if you're not involved with Shakespeare Festival at all, be sure to get involved, and reach out. I can hook you up with that. But I was on the Buy Idaho board president. I was the board president through COVID, actually.
Oh, wow.
Tracy Stone and then me after that. So that, and then, which I always support Buy Idaho as much as I can. Right now, I'm being nominated to be on the board for the Boise State Alumni Association. So we'll see where that goes. I mean, I don't know, Drew and I both, and even the team, I mean, we're always involved in something. We're going to go volunteer at the Idaho Botanical Gardens as a team together, and bring in our contractors and spouses and kids, and just go, play in the dirt. But it's important for us to come together. We support the Jaden DeLuca Foundation, which is an organization that really brings awareness and supports the heart heroes of congenital heart disease for the babies that are born with that, or develop it over time. But yeah, being a part of the community, I honestly think that that's really how we even got our start, because we started, when we were creating materials and promoting gala fundraiser events and things. What that did for us is allowed us to work with those who are also servant leaders on these boards, who have a philanthropic heart, who have, maybe a little bit of discretionary income in their own businesses to then afford what we do. And that kind of really spiraled and spurred the word of mouth, reputation, if you will, by doing that. And making, those commitments to our community as much as we can. I always say, we're a for-profit, so we do have to make some money. So I do things either at cost, or, we trade out some sponsorships. And in fact, we're going to do that with the Boise Chamber for the small business. So I won't reveal anything because it's a secret, but so we're going to do some work with the Boise Chamber to honor some people that are going to be awarded, which is amazing. But again, we get to, trade out some of that as sponsorship, and we'll get a table, and we'll get to attend the event, which I'm always grateful for those partnerships, because it helps build our brand awareness, and people know us mostly for video because they see it, right? It's the most visual thing that we do.
Yeah.
But I would encourage others, though, if you want to start getting your name out there, get involved with some sort of committee, get involved with a task force, get involved with the chamber, right? To do some sort of thing to help, start it and grow it and be a part of it. Because then you get to work with the people that you really want to work with, the ones that are those servant leaders that have, a go-giver mentality. Yeah.
Right. I always love gleaning that vibrancy from people. I love that, the education piece you're talking about as well.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, let's shout out your incredible team, Ray. We mentioned that at the beginning. Help share a little bit about that. Also, if you have any employment opportunities, here's a great spot to shout those out. And then anything else you'd like to educate the listeners on while we have you.
Absolutely. We wouldn't be here without the team, right? I mean, behind every, good CEO is an even better team to support them. And, Drew, obviously he's the yin to my yang, and I love that, and have for, we've been able to manage this for 22 years. So it works out. But yeah, Brian's been with us for, almost a decade, maybe more now. I don't even know, but at least a decade or close to it. I have to remember, we just celebrated his work anniversary. I think he's been here for 9 years, I'll say. And we actually worked with him at Channel 6 a long time, or Channel 12, I should say, a long time ago. And then we have Christy, our graphic designer, and she's just a breath of fresh air, just super positive, wonderful to work with, loves feedback, loves to give and get feedback, which is amazing. And then we have Marie, who's been, I actually worked with her when she was working for Peterson's Stampede Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and known her for a really long time. She retired from that. Now she just works part-time for us. And Michaela, she's been working with us. She was one of my students, actually. And, she's grown and learned along the way. And we hired her. And then I know, and we've got lots of contractors that we work with, and copywriters. Carrie Ellis is coming on board. Kendall Shue. We've got Brian McKinney. She's a contractor, but she does a lot of copywriting, and she's been with us for years and years and years. Brandon Hill does a lot of website stuff. Casey. I mean, there's lots of partners that we have. Both of my sons have worked for Peppershock.
Of course they have.
It's been, I'm sure I'm forgetting people, but it's been a wonderful thing. And then as far as something else to shout out, speaking of word of mouth marketing, we started word of mouth mixers once a month, and a business is hosting it throughout the Treasure Valley in different locations throughout the valley. And we just had it at the Social Hub. So shout out to them. Emily Elizabeth helped support that. Next month, we're going to have it at Peterson Stampede Chrysler Beach Dram at the Idaho Center Auto Mall. Don't quote me. It's hard to say all that. But Peterson.
Easy for you to say, Ray.
Yeah. And then we're going to be at multiple different locations throughout. Susie Boyle from Castle and Cook Mortgage, she's hosting. We're going to be at the Arid Club May 22nd. And you can go register for these. We're only charging $15 to attend. I figured if we value it, so will they. And if we do a free event, they won't show up, and I don't want that. So, so far we've had really great attendance. We've it's going to be from 4:30 to 6:30, April 23rd at Peterson, and then May 22nd. So there's going to be different time frames just based on who's hosting and where we can host it at. And we've got some other wonderful hosts lined up for the rest of the year. We have a wait list now, which is kind of fun, and just more and more people. But the whole idea is, I don't want it to just be business card poker. We want to do something more than just exchange business cards. Take it a step further. Connect with somebody on LinkedIn, and I say rave 5 R's. Give a referral, a review, a rating, a ranking, a recommendation, and then reward those who do it. So we have some fun things that we do to reward and engage. And my whole intention of these word of mouth mixers is to get people to speak beyond the walls of the hosted venue, to continue to do coffee chats, conversations, conference calls, cocktails, or I keep saying take Ray to Cancun, because that would make really good connections, right? I mean, the seas of communication here. But so follow up, right? And we have a new Facebook group now called Word of Mouth Mixers Treasure Valley, because if this goes and flows like I think it is already, I want to take this to other areas throughout other locations, and create word of mouth mixers all over, maybe even take a virtual online. I'm kind of playing with the idea of world of mouse I don't know, word of mouth, but word of mouse, like clicking online. I don't know. We're gonna come up with some word of mouth online point, but
Oh my
anyway,
gosh.
peppershock.com/events to go register for that. And then of course the marketing expedition community and podcasts we've been doing. You can go to the marketingexpedition.com, listen to the podcast, sign up for if you're a DIYer and want to be educated on how you can continue to build your brand and your bottom line. Those are the things. And one last thing, Paul, if you let me, I think that the economy, and not to get political or anything, a lot of businesses are going through a lot of change right now. And I think that if we come together, work together, help celebrate and elevate each other in our businesses, we will get through this, right? We're just riding a new wave. And if you are in that position right now and you might be feeling like you're struggling, maybe getting new business or getting new leads, or just wherever you're at in your space or place, reach out to us, come to the events, join us online in any of these things that we're doing, because we're here to support our community. We're here to support you and all that we can do to continue to elevate our own areas, and even nationwide if we need to. We're here to support those that need to continue to market their business, right? The last thing that you should do is cut your advertising budget, even though as painful as that can be. Marketing and advertising is what's going to keep your doors open. So that's what I would say is measure what you treasure, dump what you don't, automate what you hate, delegate to elevate, and then call Peppershock Media to help you.
Ray, wow, what a great time we've had together today to help share Peppershock Media's story, a little bit about your background, some of the services that you offer, and most importantly, your people. So thanks for sharing with us today. We'll see you soon. Thanks for hooking us up for our Business Awards event. Really excited to announce some of those, the Hall of Fame recipient, the Government Advocate of the Year. Ray, thanks again for all your time. Thanks for your 20 plus years of membership with the Chamber. We really appreciate it.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Paul. And for those of you listening, sorry about my voice, but connect with me after this and hopefully my voice will be better. Thank you.
Ray, have a great weekend. Happy Tree Fortin.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thanks, Paul.